What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about this guy right here, the Cobb Accessport. It's the V3, and basically it's just going to be a video of, kind of explaining what there is to explain about it, and if I think it's worth it to get it or not. So I'll give you guys a little startup here, so you guys can see what it looks like when it starts up. It's kind of cool. There you go, shows you a little WRX on there. And right now I'm just going to put on my gauges that I normally use, just a boost gauge, and then I use air to fuel ratio gauge, so the big one up top is the boost gauge. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, let's get into talking about this guy. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to talk about with the Accessport is the different tunes that come with it. Now, there are a ton of tunes that come with this thing. I haven't even probably read through them all, but there's a bunch. And what I have is the Stage 1 93 octane tune. I know there's, for the Stage 1 they have a 93 octane, which is what I have, and 91 octane. So, depending on what kind of gas you can get in your area, they kind of make it more so you can have a better one fit for what kind of gas you have. I think in my area I can get 90. I think I get 94 pretty much everywhere around here. So that's why I have the 93. It's 93 or better. They also have a stage. I think a Stage 1 tune on there, or Stage 2 tune, but personally I would never, if I had a Stage 2 car, I wouldn't use Cobb's Stage 2, just because I feel like you'd be much safer and better off with a Pro tune. So yeah, so they also have something really cool. If you have a Cobb air intake, they have a tune for that, Stage 1 plus their air intake. So that's pretty cool. They have their own map, built for that. And there's a bunch of other cool ones on there. I know there's like a valet tune you can do where it limits your revs, which is kind of cool. I mean, are you really going to use that? I don't know, but they have it if you want. And the really cool thing is, when you first plug the Cobb Accessport into your car, very first thing it does is it copies your stock tune. So that way it saves it on there. It's always on your Accessport, and you can always flash back to it, which is great. I know how to do that one time when I had that check engine light come on. So, you can always go back to the stock tune for warranty purposes or whatever. You have that option. So yes, that's pretty much that with all the tunes you can do, all the maps. And let's get into the gauges. Now the gauges, there's a ton of gauges. I showed you the two I use, but there's so many. The one thing I wanted a air pressure gauge, but I don't know if they have that. I didn't see it, that's why I don't have it on there, but I would if it did. Or I said air pressure? I meant oil pressure if I didn't say oil pressure. But anyway, but yeah, there's so many. I know when I was setting it up for the first time, I just kept scrolling and scrolling through. There's so many different, gauges that you'd want, and pretty much if you want a gauge, it's on there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, I believe that if you have a turbo car, you need to have a boost gauge. It just makes sense, and also you really want one just to monitor your car. You want to be able to tell if you're over boosting, if you're under boosting, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's important just to have the boost gauge, or it's important to have the boost gauge, not just that boost gauge, but that is an important thing. That's the reason reason why I have the air-to-fuel ratio on there. That's also important to monitor. You have to make sure, you know, you have the right ratio. I know mine's usually around 14 something, so as long as I'm around there, I'm good. I think it's 14.7, I think is like what it's supposed to be. But yeah, so I always check that every once in a while, just make sure I'm at the right ratio. So yeah, so there's a ton of gauges on there. Another thing that they have a lot of cool features that come with it too. A lot of things you can do with it. They have the launch control, which is pretty cool, which is what I showed you in the beginning of the video. You know, when you can set a rev limit and then it makes that sweet launch control noise. It's just really cool. It sounds great. If you launch your car, that can really come in handy too. Personally, I don't launch my car. I never will launch my car. I love it too much. I don't want to break anything. And you can have a lot of fun with it without launching it. So I choose not to. It's not worth breaking something. I baby this thing too, so that's why I never really launch it. But the sound is awesome, and you have that there if you want it. I think it can do all sorts of things. It can do I think it can monitor. I've never done it, but it can monitor your 0 to 60 time and your quarter-mile time, which is pretty cool. You know, if you take it to a track, that'd be cool to have, or just have fun with it one day. You know, that's there. Also, I think there's like a setting for flat foot shifting. I've never got into that. I've never really messed around with it, but that is something it comes with. Another thing, you can data log if you're into that. I never really have done it. All you have to do is hit the center button right there and it starts logging. So if you want to data log, you can do that, which is great. Again, another way to kind of monitor your car. And there is a black smudge in my pants. I don't know what the heck happened. Great. But whatever. And yeah, so you can do data logs. What else does this thing have? I'm trying to think here. There's some cool stuff on here. I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about as far as the Accessport goes. Now, this also comes with a different faceplate. I have the gray one on. Seen earlier, you can look earlier in my earlier. You can look back in some of my earlier videos, and you can see the blue one I had on there. I switched it, just kind of mix it up, but they're pretty easy to pop on and off, so that's pretty cool. Another thing, what else can you do? You can check if your car throws a code. You're able to check it. The one time I tried to look for a code, it didn't pop up, so I won't say it works. I'm sure it does, but I never really got a code off there. But it's supposed to, so I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much all the stuff it can do. Now we're going to get into whether I think it's worth it. Now, for me personally, I think it is, as we're in a school zone right now. So we're going super slow. But yeah, I do think it's worth it because, one, I just think the Stage 1 tune, which I have right now, is worth it by itself. It runs so much better. The power band is so much more even. But all in all, it just feels like a different car when you drive it. Doesn't, you know, the engine doesn't ever bog really. It runs so much smoother and nicer. And a lot of things I've heard online, people talk about that, you know, the stock tune really isn't that great of a tune, which I would agree. But one thing they say is that when you're doing pulls and stuff, it kind of runs a little lean, which can kind of be dangerous. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. You know, I guess it's kind of controversial, but all in all, I think most people would agree that these tunes are better than the stock ones. So that in it alone, I would think is a good reason to buy it. But yeah, you can do so much stuff with it too. And I know it's pretty expensive. I think it was. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure it was $650. Which is expensive for a little device, but it does a lot of stuff, and it's really really good thing to have, I think. And the way you think about it is, okay, yeah, it's 650 bucks. It's expensive, but you have it for the whole time you have your car, which is great. And another thing is, you can, if let's say your car got totaled or whatever. Let's say I totaled my car and I got another WRX. I can use this for my next car, you know. Now the thing you can't do, you can't take this, give it to a buddy, and then he tunes his car, and then that's it. Because that's a ripoff to Cobb, but also, as I just got a wave, that was a sick WRX with probably saw it, but it was blue hatchback with red rims, so that was pretty cool. I don't get to see them that often anymore, which blows, but yeah, that was cool. So yeah, anyway, what was I even talking about? Yeah, you can't give this to a friend to you know, tune his car, but you can sell them. I know like I think you have to go through Cobb, and I don't know if there's a code or whatever, but they can transfer ownership of one if you do sell to someone, but then you can't use it anymore. So you can do that, so they're able to be sold. And another cool thing that they do, now this is the V3 like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, but what the hell? That was weird. I don't know if you heard that. Something sounded like it hit my roof. I don't know if it was, there's a bunch of birds up here, so maybe that's it, but that sounded pretty heavy. I don't know what that was. I thought like something hit me. I don't know, that was weird. But anyway, keep getting interrupted by the unknown. And actually, there's a sweet car right here. Oh, that's got front mounted intercooler on it. It's a Mazda something or other. Must be a Mazda 3, but it's a nice car back there. Anyway, what am I talking about? Yeah, so Cobb makes the V2, or this is the V3. Cobb also makes a V2, which is the last model. And I think what they let you do is you can send Cobb in your old V2, and I think it takes like half the price off, and you can get a V3. So if you want to update or upgrade to this one, and you already had the V2, you can you know, send it into Cobb and get it for half the price, which is pretty cool. I don't know why Cobb wants them. What's the point of that? I guess it's just to help you buy it, like make you buy more. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So you can also have that option to go. Oh, another thing that I've heard people ask is how this thing, like, does it run off your battery or whatever it does? It plugs in right under here, right under your steering wheel, and basically, it doesn't. I mean, I guess it runs off your battery. I'm not really sure, but like you can leave it plugged into this and everything. As long as you turn it off, you're not using any battery or anything. So that if that's something you're wondering, that's something I wondered myself before I had it. So yeah, that's something that maybe you can take something out of. I don't know, but yeah. So it's all safe to keep plugged in or whatever, just as long as you turn it off. Popo up here. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much all I have to really say about the Cobb Accessport. Kind of went through what's all in it, what it consists of, and I do think you should get one. It just runs so much better. I know it's pricey, but I think it is worth it. I enjoy it. I'm glad I bought it. Don't regret buying it at all. I think it's a good thing to purchase. And this video is almost wrapped up here, guys. And I'm gonna throw a little bit of a little treat at the end of this video for you. Last night I did a little 0-60. Well, let's say 5 to 60. Had a little fun in this car last night, so I made a little video for that. I'll put that at the very end. It's really quick, but yeah, hope you guys like it. So that's gonna do it for me. Guys. It's been another great video and a great time. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will see you in the next one. All right, here we go. So that was a 0-60.